that you can say, well done. And Lord, it's not easy being a sheriff, but he is humble and he finds himself saying, I'm created in God's image. And when you're created in your image, nothing can stop you, nothing can harm you. Oh yes, it may cripple you. Sometimes have you to say prayers and cry late at night. But at the end of the day, when it's dark outside, there's one thing that stays with me. As David said, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. This is the sixth term. This is our joy. Our joy is not here because of the greatest sheriff of all time, Sheriff Grady Judd. And we thank you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. As we celebrate today, I want to take a moment to thank the City Central Church and Pastor Jay Dennis for accommodating this ceremony. A special thank you to the entire church staff, Pastor Lonnie Lawson, and all the others who have helped us make this possible. We're honored today to have Pastor Jay Dennis here as our keynote speaker. Pastor Jay is Sheriff Judd's very good friend and was his pastor for many years. Welcome, Pastor Jay.
Thank you, Chief Lester, so much. I'm honored to briefly share at my dear friend Grady Judd's swearing-in ceremony today. And I often think back to a lunch meeting in 2004 when Grady believed God was leading him to run for sheriff of Polk County. There are many reasons I'm glad to be a citizen of Polk County, Florida. And at the top is the fact that Grady Judd is our sheriff, and the nonsense we have viewed in other places is not welcome here, namely because of his influence. Like you, no matter where I go, when someone discovers I live in Polk County, immediately one name emerges, Sheriff Grady Judd. He would not want me to call him a living legend, but that's exactly what he is, and aren't we happy that we get 4 more years? When I think about the word integrity, a picture of certain people come to my mind, and at the forefront of that is the man in whom we are swearing in today, Grady Judd. I've had the privilege of seeing Grady up close and personal for many years, of having known his dad and mom, his sister, his boys. I've watched him do the right thing when no one else was looking. I have watched him return honorariums numerous times for speaking in churches, telling the church to invest in the children's ministry. I've gotten to ride with Grady and even watched him pull over a speeding car on Interstate 4, welcoming the person to Polk County. I had the honor of sharing both at his mom and dad's funerals and how he honored them. I've been with him on a sting operation and saw firsthand how he orchestrates putting really bad people exactly where they belong, and that is in jail. I watched on a computer screen the response when the bad guy figured out they had been caught by Sheriff Grady Judd. I cannot repeat today what I saw on the screen, but you can only imagine. Once when I was taking a strong moral stand on an issue, Angie, my wife, was afraid I was going to be put in jail over it. I asked Grady if I did go to jail, would I get pink underwear like that sheriff in Arizona offered at the time, and he looked at me and said, "What underwear?" He did promise me extra bologna sandwiches, and I took great comfort in that. I have seen him attend funeral after funeral, honoring the people who served under him and their families. I have seen our sheriff take unpopular stands and be ridiculed for them while being unfazed by criticism. I've watched him always run into fear and never away from fear. Whether running adult businesses out of Polk County, or taking on the atheist of Polk County, or refusing to take off his uniform when he speaks at a church, here is a man of integrity. I have seen his faithfulness in God's house time and time again. May I just stop and say, thank God we don't have a woke sheriff. Behind this amazing sheriff is an amazing man and his amazing wife, Marisa. So you see why, if I was going to use one word, and only one word concerning Grady, it would be that word integrity. Grady never wears his Christian faith on his shirt sleeve. He wears it on his shoes, representing his faith everywhere he goes. Faith for our sheriff is not a separate compartment. It is his daily life and routine. Someone said integrity is the integration of one's life around his core values. Billy Graham said, integrity means a person is the same on the inside as he or she claims to be on the outside. Integrity means that if our private life was suddenly exposed, we'd have no reason to be ashamed or embarrassed. Integrity means our outward life is consistent with our inner convictions. In Psalm 15 that was written by David, the word integrity is used. It means whole, solid. It means sound, a consistent commitment to a set of values and convictions. The idea of whole here with the word integrity means it is incorporated into every day of one's life, in every area of one's life. There is not a separate God or do the right thing compartment. It is his life. When you look at Psalm 15:1, this verse refers to fellowship with God. David mentions tent and a holy hill. They're symbols of God's presence. Psalm 15 describes the kind of person who lives in constant fellowship with God. This is a real Christian at work, practically living out his faith every single day. You don't do these things in order to get to heaven. You do them because you are on your way to heaven. So very briefly, I want to share the characteristics of real integrity. Number one, the man of integrity does what is right. Psalm 15:2, he works righteousness. The person of integrity is committed to doing the right thing, not because someone is watching or not because he is afraid he will get caught. If not, it is a habit. It is a way of life. Why does he do it? Because it is simply the right thing to do. Integrity means doing the right thing on purpose by intention. But number two, a man of integrity says what is true, Psalm 15:2, and speaks truth in his heart. The man of integrity intentionally tells the truth because he lives in truth. This speaks of sincerity. There is no deception, no ulterior motives, just a radical commitment to the truth. It is being honest. It has the idea of truth being shared in love and in sincerity. One of the things we love about our sheriff is he speaks the truth in all situations, in all circumstances, regardless of the cost. But number three, the man of integrity says to one's face what many would only say behind one's back. Psalm 15:3, he does not slander with his tongue. This speaks of not defaming another person's character. It is not saying something behind one's back that you wouldn't say to his face. So the psalmist is saying a person of integrity asks first these questions. Is it true? Is it confidential? Is it helpful? Integrity means saying to one's face what others would only say behind one's back. Our sheriff, thank God, means what he says and says what he means, both privately and publicly. That, my friends, is integrity. Number four, he refuses to wrong people. Psalm 15:4, nor does evil to his neighbor. It means you don't consciously bring difficulty upon those who do the right thing. The word evil means breaking up of all that is good or desirable. Evil also refers to moral depravity. Integrity means refusing to yield to temptation or encouraging temptation. The man of integrity refuses to do that which is wrong to people who are right. And then number five, the man of integrity expresses disapproval of those whom God disapproves. Psalm 15:4, in whose eyes a reprobate is despised. A reprobate is someone who is totally disinterested and belligerent toward the things of God. They scorn anything that is spiritual. That is not our sheriff. The person of integrity doesn't respect those of whom God disapproves, those who would deny him and deny the clear teachings of his word, the Bible. When the atheists of Florida came after our sheriff, he stood strong and refused to back down. He ran out every adult business in Polk County. That, my friends, is integrity. And then number 6, the man of integrity stands up for those who are right. Psalm 15:4. Who honors those who fear the Lord. That means he applauds the actions of those who do the right thing. You value that person's convictions. When someone criticizes the one doing what is right, the man of integrity speaks up for them. He honors those who honor God. I think about the amazing relationships that, Grady, you have built with pastors and priests and rabbis and religious leaders. Thank you for that. The men of God have no better friend than Grady Judd. This person is one who is sought out for his wisdom. It means hanging around people who love God. People all over the country seek the wisdom and advice of our sheriff. That's integrity. And then finally, the man of integrity does what he says, even if it costs. Verse 5 of Psalm 15. He swears to his own hurt and does not change. The person of integrity doesn't renege on his word. It is making good on your word, being faithful to your word, even if it turns out to be to one's disadvantage. His word is his bond. The man of integrity makes it his aim to do what he says he will do, even if it hurts, even when it is inconvenient. The man of integrity refuses to take a bribe, to corrupt his conduct by doing something unethical. He treats everyone fairly and with being impartial. Simply put, he does the right thing toward everyone, regardless of who they are. That, my friends, is our sheriff, and that is a man of integrity. I read this article. How long do footprints last on the moon? The first footprints put on the moon will probably be there a long, long time, maybe almost as long as the moon itself lasts. Unlike on Earth, there is no erosion by wind or water on the moon. Nothing gets washed away. And since the moon has no atmosphere, it is exposed to the solar wind, a stream of charged particles coming from the sun. And over time, this acts almost like weather on Earth to scour surfaces on the moon, but the process is very, very slow. The footprints left behind by astronauts on the moon could last 10 to 100 million years. Sheriff Grady Judd has left lasting footprints on Polk County, on this nation, and on this world. Footprints of integrity and character, a reputation of law and order and compassion. And it makes us want to say again, 4 more years. Grady, God bless you and Marisa.
I, the Lord of sea and sky, I have heard my people cry, all who dwell in dark and sin, my hand will save. I who made the stars of night, I will make their dark snow and rain. I have borne my people's pain. I have wept for love of them. They turn away. I will break their hearts of stone. Give them hearts for love alone. I will speak my word to them. Whom shall I send? Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I have heard you calling in the night. I will go, Lord, if you lead me. I will hold your people in my heart. I, the Lord of wind and flame, I will tend the poor and lame. I will set a feast for them. My hand will save. Finest bread I will provide, till their hearts be satisfied. I will give my life to them. Whom shall I send? Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I have heard you calling in the night. I will go, Lord, if you lead me. I will hold your people in my heart.
It is my honor today to introduce my good friend on this blessed occasion. After beginning his career with the Polk County Sheriff's Office in 1972 as a dispatcher, Grady Judd quickly progressed through every rank from corporal to colonel. As a small child growing up in Polk County, Grady dreamed of one day being sheriff. In 2004, Polk County overwhelmingly elected him to serve as their sheriff, fulfilling that childhood dream. He has subsequently been reelected in 2008, 2012, 2016, 2020, and now again this past November. Today marks the beginning of his sixth term in office. Sheriff Judd has earned higher education degrees through the master's level and has graduated from the FBI National Academy, as well as several other prestigious law enforcement academies. and has taught 23 years at both the University of South Florida and Florida Southern College. Grady has been a visionary for law enforcement nationwide for years, yet has the most tender heart for his local community. Grady realizes that having proper priorities in place is important to real success. Faith, family, and the men and women of the Polk County Sheriff's Office, along with the citizens of Polk County, are the priorities that direct his life. Grady has been married to his wife, Marisa, for 52 years and has 2 grown sons and 13 grandchildren. Sheriff Judd is humbled to have his good friend, former legislator and congressman, former judge of the 2nd District Court of Appeals, and current justice of the Florida Supreme Court, Charles Kennedy, administer his oath of office today.
Please place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I, Grady Judd, do solemnly swear
I, Grady Judd, do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government
the Constitution and government
of the United States and of the state of Florida,
of the United States and the state of Florida,
that I am duly qualified to hold office
and I'm duly qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state,
under the Constitution of the state,
that I will well and faithfully perform
that I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of sheriff
the duties of sheriff
on which I am now about to enter.
that I'm now about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. God bless you.
Thank you very much. You know, it's a whole lot easier to give that than it is to take it. The people of Polk County made history again when they overwhelmingly elected me for sheriff for the 6th consecutive term. You know, when I say that and I hear that, I still can't believe it. I'm grateful beyond words for the opportunity to continue to be the servant of the Lord and to fulfill my calling to be your sheriff. To live out your dream every day is an honor beyond description. In fact, 1 Peter chapter 5, verses 2 through 4 tells us this: be shepherds of God's flock that is under your care, watching over them, not because you must, but because you're willing, as God wants you to be, not pursuing dishonest gain, but eager to serve, not lording it over those entrusted to you, but being examples to the flock. And when the chief shepherd appears, you will receive the crown of glory that will never fade away. To properly thank and recognize everyone who made my possible journey would be impossible. There were so many. If I tried to give them the proper recognition, I would certainly omit many because there have been hundreds. So let me thank you all who have been so important in my life. You certainly deserve all the credit for making my dream a reality. Now I want to highlight and give special thanks to those who raised funds and those who donated to our campaign for sheriff. Make no mistake about it, without generous help, political success would only be a fleeting dream. But now for the real power behind the throne, Marisa. You already know she is the real brains in the family. I was only savvy enough to talk her into marrying me when we were in high school, just kids. At 17 years old, she was the love of my life. My love, my affection, and respect for her have grown stronger every day of every year since we were 17 years old. I prayed to meet a Christian Southern Baptist girl, and God sent me a far greater partner than I could imagine, and I still don't understand why she's put up with me throughout all these years. But I'm so grateful she saw fit to keep me around. You know, we graduated from high school in June of '72. We began Polk Community College in June of '72. Sheriff Brannon hired me in July of '72. And Marisa married me in September of 1972. She knew from the very beginning we would spend our lives in law enforcement together, and one day I wanted to be the sheriff. She worked much harder than I did to make that dream a reality for me. You see, she coached me through college. I'd still be stuck in math in community college. She gave us Trey and Graham, and then she raised them while I spent crazy hours at work, taking care of society and the community and the kids who didn't behave all over Polk County. And then I spent a lot of hours in college and second jobs to help make ends meet. Marisa even had one of our college professors tell her, "You need to dump this guy because he's not going to amount to anything at all." Well, I'm glad that he made Marisa mad. She showed him that she could take a little old boy from South Cumbie Road and make him into a sheriff. You know, there's no doubt Marisa is and always has been the most important person in my life. She's the wind beneath my wings and the rock-solid foundation of our family. Now, of course, if you ask her, she'll tell you really quick that I married the sheriff's office first in July, and then I married her second in September, and that's always been the order of how our life went. And she said, "I'm okay with that." Well, I'm sure you've heard people say, "My job is what I do, it's not who I am." Well, this is not a news flash to those that have grown up around me and worked with me. The sheriff's office is who I am 24/7, every day of every year. Now, for a few minutes, I want to share with you my recipe for success in my personal life and my professional life. The men and women, past and present, collectively worked very, very hard to make the sheriff's office the most stable, professional, ethical, and morally sound law enforcement agency any place in the United States. And they utilized these techniques that I'm about to list. But please understand, and the folks that work with me at the sheriff's office have heard this over and over and will continue to. Good things don't just happen. Good people make good things happen. Our culture and stability at the sheriff's office occurred over decades of work where our members always just do what's right. Our folks self-police. They don't accept those into our ranks who aren't or don't become grounded into a philosophy of fairness, respect, equality, customer service, and honesty with a due north moral compass. So in no particular order, let me begin with the coaching points that the men and women of the sheriff's office hear and experience every day. First, believe in God and make every attempt to stay in the center of His will every day. Keep only one wife or husband. Love, be loyal, and respect her or him. And if you can't, avoid any animosity and hostility when you part. Please don't ever forget, what got you married or elected won't keep you married or elected. Work hard every day. Be honest, ethical, and moral all of the time. Go above and beyond. Focus on customer service with a sense of urgency. Treat others the way you want your mother to be treated. Never, ever give up. Never, ever be satisfied. Understand and use state-of-the-art systems and processes. They make the difference between success and failure. No matter how good the systems or processes are, they can always be better. Always be loyal to your family, wife, or husband, friends, boss, and live and love life to the fullest every day. It could be your last day on this earth, especially in our job. Remember, friends may come and go, but enemies collect. It is necessary to build relationships. You need everyone in the tent peeing out and no one out of the tent peeing in. And Marissa told me, do not say that. But I don't listen to her all the time. Forgive but don't forget. Always remember, you didn't get to your station in life by yourself. In fact, it's quite possible you got there in spite of yourself. Your supporters and honest critics helped you along life's way. Do what you say, mean what you say. Doing what is right is not always easy, but it's always right. Never make it about you, make it about those you serve. Nothing else matters if you don't have a servant's heart. Work hard for the people, and they will let you keep your job. And always remember, people will forgive mistakes, but they won't forgive rank incompetence or deceit. Be charitable. Always help those less fortunate. Always go the extra mile. Take the extra step. Always love people, even when they disappoint you. That isn't easy. It takes practice. Believe me, a lot of practice. Remember, no one can beat you if you don't quit. Remember from where you came. Make decisions that are in the best interest of those you serve. Life is not a dress rehearsal. Life is short. Learn from the good times, learn from the bad times, but be happy. You only have one life to do good for mankind. Don't blow it. It's tough, but always go to funerals and comfort friends and associates who have lost loved ones. And when you attend your own funeral, you don't have to go to any more funerals. As we do this complicated job, the ground shifts beneath our feet constantly. Please remember, bend when it's necessary or you will break. But never sacrifice your ethics, your values, or your morals. If you don't want your job, believe me, a lot of others do. Work hard or get out of the way. Enjoy every chapter of your life. Did I mention life is really short? Nothing good happens in a vacuum. It takes everyone to make a successful village. Macro and micro views are both necessary to be successful. The first day you don't move your life or the agency forward is the first day your life or the agency is moving backward. Always respect and love your friends and work partners. God built us all different on purpose. Learn from each other. As I close, let me share a few of the great accomplishments our team achieved in just the last 4 years. Now, folks, we wrote these down. I don't know if it's complete or not, but it's a shocking amount of things that this wonderful Sheriff's Office team did in just the last 4 years. And our success was achieved only because of the great men and women of the Sheriff's Office. But let me be abundantly clear, without the support and funding from our Board of County Commissioners, which puts your safety first, your well-being first, most of these projects could not have been completed. So I'll list them in no particular order. We instituted state-of-the-art investigative-based technology resources. That doesn't mean a lot if you're not in the agency, but it means we're keeping you safe. We added a live 911 program so our deputies could hear the patrol calls live that are in their area and respond even before dispatch could dispatch them. We provided cell phones to deputies instead of MiFis. We created a director of mental health services with new programs and created an even greater relationship with the public and private providers. Gwinnell Brandt, who orchestrated this wonderful service today, started that program for me. We built a new training center. We created the Sheriff's Artificial Intelligence Laboratory, CEL, with a partnership with the Florida Polytechnic University. We're visioning for the future and how we use AI to keep you safe and how we use AI to investigate crime in the future. We launched the National Public Safety Innovation Academy with Polk State College in partnership with Dr. Angela Falconetti. We are one of like 3 national finishing schools for law enforcement in the entire nation. We reduced crime to a 51-year low. We added the Guardian program to protect students, teachers, staff in private schools. We added the Marshal and Defender programs throughout the county to keep county workers safe. We added digital kiosks in the jail so we'd have better communications with our inmates. We created the STAR program, Substance Treatment, Advocacy, Recover, and Reentry program. We built a Sheriff's Processing Center. That's known as a book-in jail, but I thought we'd say something nice, you know. But if you go to the Sheriff's Processing Center, it's not a good day, unless you're taking somebody there. We added a Sheriff's Releasing Center. We renovated the old boot camp to house pre-adjudicated juveniles. We added training staff to the police academy so we could add additional academy classes, train additional deputies. We changed our aviation platform from MD helicopters to Robinson helicopters, replaced the aging Cessna 182 aircraft. We expanded the Safe Schools Division to include all public schools. Fred Hyde, our superintendent, who's simply the very best in the entire nation, was the one that said, listen, Sheriff, it's time. It's time to take the next step. I can't say enough good things about Fred Hyde and our school board. We created a county-wide reunification team. See, when you're from South Canby Road, sometimes you have problems with words that have more than 8 letters in them, okay? And that's so that if there's a tragic event any place in this county, we can get loved ones back together quickly. We established a county-wide violent gang task force. We designed technology for remote professional jail visits. We enhanced and added outreach initiatives in patrol districts. We equipped deputies with Narcan. We began a medication-assisted treatment program in the county jail. We created and staffed the community assistance program. We call it Ruth-Marked. And we give away millions of dollars worth of product every year. We implemented the Master Telecommunicator Program, and we expanded community assisted patrol to Bonnet Springs Park. Listen, folks, that's just in 4 years. If you don't think that's not a full court press every day, then you haven't worked at the Sheriff's Office. Our future missions. Now, here are some missions that are on the horizon, and this is what people can look forward to in this term of office. We're going to add our 6th patrol district in 2025. It's under construction now for the population increase that's occurred in the county. We're designing new jail additions to include a dedicated state-of-the-art medical and mental health ward because the patients in the wards or the inmates in the wards are sicker and sicker and sicker. And we don't see any letting up of that because some people think it's more important to let people use drugs than it is to hold them accountable. I won't go there. I could talk all day about that. We're going to complete our new SOMA computer project. We're going to build a state-of-the-art canine training center dedicated to Deputy Sheriff Matt Williams and DOG. We are going to build a new multifunctional warehouse. We're going to build artificial intelligence systems, processes, and investigative functions to keep the community safer. We're going to construct a new protected point of entry for secure transfer of inmates into the court system. We're going to work with the city of Mulberry to add a new city police station for the Sheriff's Office in Mulberry. I'm excited about the next 4 years as we vision toward the future so we can continue to exceed the community's expectation of providing superior, cost-effective law enforcement and detention services. We're going to do that with a sense of urgency. But let me close by saying once again, being your sheriff is the most humbling and awesome experience of a lifetime. To be able to serve you with the most professional men and women in law enforcement anywhere who put their lives on the line or support those that do is an honor that words can't adequately describe. I have so many stories I could share, but I'll do that later. I give my Sheriff's Office team led by Chief of Staff Steve Lester, Chief Mike Allen, Chief Ian Floyd, Executive Director Andrea McDonald, all the credit for the success I've enjoyed as your sheriff. Chief of Staff Gary Hester, retired, I think he's with us today. He was the one that started this journey with me, and I'll be forever grateful. I also appreciate and thank the community who's always supported us. When all that craziness was going on, the hate on the police and all of that, none of that happened in Polk County because of the wonderful men and women who live in this county. We saw just the opposite. They loved us, they surrounded us, they supported us. But none of this is possible without the community support. Now, as I enter my 6th term, I promise I will continue to vision for the future, work hard, do all I can to loyally serve and keep you safe. May God continue to bless the men and women of the Sheriff's Office, the people of Polk County, and this great United States of America. I love you guys.
So the legend goes, he left with his guitar and the devil took his soul. The devil took his soul. Then out here on this highway, breathing diesel smoke, driving hard for hours, trying to make that Memphis show. People always ask me, son, what does it take to reach out and touch your dreams? To them I always say, are you hungry? Are you thirsty? Is it a fire that burns you up inside? How bad do you want it? How bad do you need it? Are you eating, sleeping, dreaming with that one thing on your mind? How bad do you want it? How bad do you need it? 'Cause if you want it all, you gotta lay it all out on the line. I get to make my living doing what I love. Every night I give my heart and soul. Sometimes that ain't enough. But brother, if you're like me, looking down that road, be careful of that wild wind, son. Sometimes it don't let go. Can you feel it? Can you taste it? Can you hear it? Oh, knocking at your door. How bad do you want it? How bad do you need it? Are you eating, sleeping, dreaming with that one thing on your mind? How bad do you want it? How bad do you need it? 'Cause if you want it all, you gotta lay it all out on the line. That's right. There's always a price you pay, no matter what you do. If you're gonna climb that mountain to the top, it always comes down to how bad do you want it? How bad do you need it? Are you eating, sleeping, dreaming with that one thing on your mind? How bad do you want it? How bad do you need it? 'Cause if you want it all, you gotta lay it all out on the line. Reach on, brother. Robert Johnson went to the crossroads, so the legend goes. He left with his guitar and the devil took his soul. The devil took his soul.
We want to specifically thank those who shared their God-given talents with us this morning. Patrina McCutcheon, current Fort Meade Mayor, City Commissioner, and former 30-year Sheriff's Office member, sang the national anthem this morning. And Kimmy Gabriella, former top 20 American Idol contestant, blessed us with the song, Here I Am, Lord. A special thanks to Sheriff Judd's friends for taking part in this ceremony. And finally, a special thanks to each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to commemorate this very special day with all of us. Please stand now as we conclude this ceremony with a benediction from Father Andrew Malik, retired Catholic priest and lifelong friend of Sheriff Judd.
Just a few words. I have known Grady for 61 years. He was 9 and I was 7. Okay, so we've known each other a long time. So if you want more information, I'll be in the back, and there'll be an offertory, and you could bring up your gifts if you want more information, okay? But all kidding aside, Grady has been a good friend, and he's been a great sheriff. As a friend, I'm so proud of him. We've been here for each other over the years, and I want to thank him for that. But I ask our Lord Jesus to bless everyone here and to look upon Grady's family, Marissa and the kids. May they continue to love, desire, and live Jesus Christ in their lives. As always, I call upon the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And now we could say a prayer that we all know. It begins this way. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Love you, Grady. Love you, Marissa. Thank you.
That concludes the ceremony. Everyone, thank you for coming. Have a great day and a great 2025.